Jefferson wasn't ready for it.
Ball game.
It is over.
12 on the field. Replay third down.
Jefferson will go under center. Pitch Ridley. Touchdown! A miracle! A miracle in Baton Rouge.
There's the snap. There's the pass. Touchdown! Tigers! Holy cow!
The snap. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Auburn wins, and it is pandemonium.
Cameron Newton in for the touchdown.
Look at him smile. Did you see the big smile?
Deep in the middle, got a man open. Touchdown, Emory Blake. There will be some toilet paper thrown at Toomer's corner tonight.
This guy's unbelievable. You can't do this stuff.
Oh my gosh! Now, fire up the crowd for the win. He nailed it! In a world full of uncertainty, we can promise you this: the Tigers will win this afternoon. We've got the orange and blue Tigers of Auburn. We've got the purple and gold of LSU. The predominant color here is for the home team, Auburn University Tigers. Aubie leads the way. It's a battle of the unbeatens. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS from Jordan-Hare Stadium. And first on the field, the visitors from Baton Rouge, unbeaten, 7-0. Not that far behind them, the Tigers of Auburn University, also 7-0. Just another average way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Hi, everybody. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. We're here at Jordan-Hare. We must look at the standings in this crazy SEC West. This is the marquee matchup, Gary, but every team is still in play.
Well, Vern, you know how I love to break these games down. Two perfect records these teams have, as you alluded to, but they're imperfect teams. So what's going to happen? Will it be their strengths, Auburn's offense, or LSU's defense? Or will it be their weaknesses, LSU's pass offense and Auburn's pass defense? I'm just going to seatbelt in and watch today.
Well, let's begin with a guy who's become a cult hero here, Cam Newton.
Yeah, in 1 week, you go from talking about a sound Auburn team to talking about a Heisman front runner in Cam Newton. And last week, he ran through Arkansas. He ran over Arkansas. And when he had to, he ran around a lot of Arkansas. And don't forget about the guy throwing the ball, too. He can make the plays with his arm. He really put on a show, something like I haven't seen in a long time.
Well, if it's a case of your best against my best, how about LSU and one of the best defenses in the country?
I don't think, Vern, it's going to be schemes that stop this team. It's going to be great players. And LSU has great players at every level. Drake Nevis up front is a tackling machine. Calvin Shepard has the speed and the experience to make the plays. And then maybe the best athlete in college football, Patrick Peterson, is at the back level. It'll take stars to stop that one star, Cam Newton, at Auburn.
Moments ago, here's Tracy Wolfson with Les Miles.
Coach, no one has been able to contain Cam Newton. How can you?
Take 11 guys on defense. It's going to be a great challenge to our team.
You told me earlier that both quarterbacks need to play well. Individually, though, what does each need to do?
Well, control the ball, execute the offense as we would call it for them. They play well, we'll be fine.
We've seen some wild finishes between these two teams. Will we see another crazy one today?
I would like that both teams played their best. That'd be fine with me.
Thank you. Good luck.
That's a decent wish, isn't it? Well, second week in a row we've been here. Second week in a row we've enjoyed splendid weather. 77 degrees. And LSU leads this series 24-19. LSU won last season in Baton Rouge.
Vern, early in this game, I was down on the field. The sun is a real factor, especially the direction LSU is kicking off to Auburn. You're looking right into it.
LSU won the toss and deferred the option, so Auburn will get the ball. Josh Jasper will kick off. DeMond Washington and Ontario Michaela deep. See, touchback's not a strong point for LSU.
No, and this is into the wind, too. It'll be tough to get it back there.
Very short. Taken at the 11-yard line. Up the middle with an opening. That's DeMond Washington, number 14. And Gary, how about Cam Newton? We talked a little bit just a moment ago. Statistically, just a marvelous effort.
Well, yeah, he's almost impossible to defend because he not only can run and he's big, he's hard to tackle one-on-one. And I think the key for LSU in this game is to not go for the knockout blow on him. Okay, there's a lot of space out there. Just tackle him soundly and bring him down. Don't try to hurt the guy. Just grab him.
First down from the 37-yard line. Slips the ball to Michael Dyer, who did get the start today, battling a bone bruise or a bad knee. And here is the Chick-fil-A starting lineup. Zimba, Berry, Pugh, Isom, and Mosley, the front line. Very good one. Well, we were told a half an hour ago that Fannin would be the starter. He was not. So deception all around. Catch is made by Mario Fannin, who comes in for the second down play. Now, defensively for LSU, just an outstanding unit. Adams, Livingston, Nevis, and LeVar Edwards gets the start at defensive end. Francois, Kelvin Shepard, Ryan Baker are the linebackers. The secondary, Claiborne, Taylor, Hatcher, and the All-American Peterson. That one is down at the 46-yard line. Ryan Baker with the tackle. 4th and 1. And something we've not seen much of, 3 and out for the Auburn Tigers.
And right away you saw the signature of this LSU defense, speed. The speed coming off the edge.
That brings on the freshman Stephen Clark. 3rd game in which he has punted. He replaced Ryan Shoemaker. And the All-American Patrick Peterson has 2 touchdowns on punt returns this year. This one high. Fair catch called by Peterson. He makes the grab at the 11-yard line. 32-yard punt, but most significantly, nothing on the return. We will see both men. Jordan Jefferson, the starter on the left. Jarrett Lee, who was the starter in 08 on the right. They've used both for the last 3 or 4 games. Obviously effectively because they've won. But Jordan Jefferson's stats as a passer this year are abysmal. 1st and 10. He'll throw on 1st down. Sounds like he was listening. Catch made by Ruben Randall off the arm of Jefferson and said, take that. Offensive lineup, Barksdale, DeRosick, Lonergan, T-Bob Hebert, and Hurst. Tolliver, the most effective wide receiver. Stampley, a fullback. Ridley, Peterson, and Shepard. Here's Les Miles. 2nd and short. Jefferson. That's a 1st down LSU. Defensively for the Tigers of Auburn, Carter Clayton Fairley's having a great year. Nosa Igwe, Stevens, Bynes, and Bates are the linebackers. Here's the problem spot. They have given up huge chunks of yardage. Washington, Etheridge, McNeil gets a start for the injured Aaron Savage. First down, 10. Ridley. Out to the 28-yard line. Tackle made by Zach Etheridge with help from Devin Bates.
Watching tape of LSU as they're going to go hurry up here. They're going to try to do the same thing that Auburn does to them.
On 2nd and 7, quick flip out. The block is given, and Russell Shepard, number 10, makes the catch. Well, Jordan Jefferson threw 2 touchdowns in the first game of the year against North Carolina. He hasn't thrown one since.
Well, the key thing about Jordan is he's not producing touchdowns on possessions. His last 18 possessions, he has 1 touchdown and 17 straight without a touchdown.
3rd and 1. Standard eye, gives the fullback. Looks like he got enough to move the chain. That was Spencer Ware, number 16, who will line up both as a tailback and a fullback. Now he gets a spell on first down 10.
I watched a lot of tape at LSU, and you first get mesmerized by their skill on defense. Then your eyes turn to their offensive line. Vern, it's a much more physical offensive line than I've seen in a few years at LSU. They are starting to knock people off the line of scrimmage.
Jefferson pulls it. Runner pass option. And this is what he does best. He can hurt you with his running style.
That's one of the things that I've watched Jordan through his career. At first, people were trying to tell me he's a great option quarterback like a Ryan Perrilloux. I never really saw that. I think he's a better downhill runner as a quarterback, much more effective maybe in the wildcat or on broken plays right there. I don't think he's a great option quarterback.
Big game then on 9 yards. It's 2nd down and 1. Michael Ford, number 42, the freshman. Here's the option. Jefferson pitches at the last minute, and Ford just does get around the corner before Nico Thorpe makes the tackle. But Michael Ford had a big day last week in the win over McNeese State. They've been waiting for a breakout game from him, and he had 88 yards in that game.
Well, time of possession, I think against Auburn is more important than any team you'll play this year in the SEC. LSU dominated Florida in time of possession, and that was a key to that football game.
First down 10. This drive began following the punt.
Just to highlight that, Vern, against Florida, I don't really count the McNeese State game. I don't know the stats, you know.
I understand.
All right. They had 12 drives against Florida. 6 of them were 7 plays or longer. Now here we go again. First drive, 7 plays already. That is their formula against this Auburn team.
Offside, 94 defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tom Ritter is our referee today, and the call was against Nosa Igwe. First down 5. Jefferson in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Terrence Tolliver. He's 2nd down.
Pretty surprised he didn't get 15 added to that backwards. Vern, that was a poor pass, okay? You got a receiver running full speed in one direction. On a short pass, he has to turn and adjust. Short passes must be accurate. The Joe Montana theory of throwing the ball. Watch this ball behind. See, he has no time to react to it.
That sets up a 2nd down and 5. DeRosick was in the shoving match. Quick setup. Slant pattern, Randall nailed, 3rd down. Damon Washington was there.
He was, and he made a good stop. It was not a well-thrown ball again. It was led too far upfield. Watch the receiver. You don't know if he'll quite get it. Good catch, good hit, but I really believe it's 4-down territory right here. They'll call this play knowing they can still make it on 4th down.
3rd and 1.
Could they go deep?
Toss. Ridley, first down. Nice surge on that right side. Josh Bynes makes the tackle, but Stephen Ridley, who leads this team in rushing, picks up the first down there.
Well, Auburn came into this game saying our defensive front four needs to help us win this football game. So far, the LSU offense has kept them off balance, and you can almost feel the clock ticking here, like the secondaries guys are going, they're going to come after us. I know they're going to come after us.
4 first downs on this drive. 3 wides to the left. Blitz threatened by the Auburn Tigers, and time taken as the play clock winds down to 2.
We talked about this last week. These are the toughest play clocks in all of college football, or at least the SEC. They're very, very low, and Jordan never found them.
LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, presents great SEC rivalries.
It's all about tailgating, flag waving, drink shaking, face paint, raising, celebrating, trash talking, no mistaken sound, love is spiritual, ritual, kind of passion. All day Dixie Way, Saturday in the South.
Tigers ready, straight to beat, and Auburn Tigers ready, straight to beat.
Well, these two teams, rivals in the SEC West, they've met annually since the expansion in the conference. You can see they've split that series 9-9. The home team has won 9 of the last 10.
And how about this? The last 3 meetings, if you add up the scores and accumulate, it's 38-38.
You remember that there was a stat, Georgia and Auburn through like 100 years?
Right.
And it was never more than a touchdown difference. I think that's changed now. But first down and 10. This is the 11th play of the drive. Auburn threatening a blitz again. 3 wides to the left. Now they rotate. Play clock at 3. Jefferson, deep left side. Nico Thorpe had a chance to intercept and could not hang on.
Can't read one worse than that. You just can't read one worse than that. Your number one responsibility as a quarterback when you're throwing the flag is to make sure you find the outside guy in the outside 1/3. Now watch this. The slot's going to go to the 1/3 right to the guy. Nico Thorpe should have ate up that football for an interception.
Yeah. Nico Thorpe didn't have a great afternoon a week ago against Arkansas, and that was a should have had. Jefferson keeps it. Tackled by the ankle. Josh Bynes, the middle linebacker, who was bemoaning the tackling effort by his team in the last 2 games prior to last week.
You are right. He plays every down. He had 2 big interceptions to end the game. But that tackle right there is what he was saying. We got to tackle better. Doesn't matter what defense our coach puts us in. If we don't tackle, it isn't going to work.
3rd and 8. All day wide open, intercepted, picked off by Zach Etheridge on the deflection, down the sidelines. It's Auburn football.
The key word, wide open. And Jordan, I'm not picking on you, but at this level of football, if you want to beat an undefeated team and be champions in this league, you got to make that throw. I mean, that could have been a catch.
Sure.
But that's a poor throw.
Reuben Randall, the intended receiver. Etheridge, 41-yard return. Doubleheader tomorrow. The lead game early, Pittsburgh at Miami. Lead game late, New England at San Diego, and also Oakland at Denver. It all begins with JV and the guys. The NFL today, 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow.
Well, LSU's defense did what they wanted to do as we look at Jordan Jefferson with one bad decision, one bad throw. They had a 3 and out in the last 70 possessions, now counting McNeese State. They've had 26, so that's 27.
Here's Newton, pulls it down. Oh, he's in trouble, but that doesn't last long. Well, he's off to a quick romp around the left side. That should be enough for the first down. This time it was Kendrick Adams, number 94, who missed him.
Kendrick Adams comes in, clean shot. The guy in blue is better than the guy in white on that one. I talked to a couple defensive coordinators around the country this week, Vern, about defending this spread and specifically a really talented quarterback like this. And almost unanimously they said they spend more time talking about rush lanes than they do about pass coverage. It's really important to corral in that pocket and not let those guys break you down by coming in too hard at them.
Well, you see the graphic about his cumulative yards in the ground. He has 4 games already this season in excess of 170 yards rushing. He had 188 last week. Option, reverse. Around the left side, this is Terrell Zachary, number 81. Carnell Hatcher got him, gain of 12.
I thought Ryan Baker, number 22, had a chance to get him. Well, let's see what happens over here. He's the man that was supposed to defend the reverse. Who gets him? I think it's Lee Zimba. Lee Zimba's the guy that gets him, and Ryan Baker gets up and goes, wait a second, the guy's 6'8", and you let him block me from behind too?
You can see they go quick, Gus Malzahn's offense. And so now Newton has the play signaled in. Flips it out behind Lutzenkirchen, but the H-back, that wasn't a great pass, but he gets back and makes the catch. Philip Lutzenkirchen. Takes longer to pronounce his name than it takes for Auburn to run a play.
Well, I really believe this football game we're going to see more of Cam's ability to throw the ball. And right now Jordan Jefferson's going, why can't you guys catch one like that for me?
Up the middle.
Uh-oh.
Down at the 15-yard line. Ryan Baker with the tackle.
This is just power football. There's 3 major plays that Auburn runs out of this spread. Quarterback power, quarterback counter, and the zone read. And that time it was the quarterback power.
Handoff left side. This is Michael Dyer. $15 yards to the 1.
I really like this Michael Dyer. I really think he's going to be a star in this league. Built very low to the ground, big, strong legs. He runs right through Patrick Peterson here and gets another 7 yards on the play.
Dyer bothered by that knee last week, but he did have a touchdown run out of Little Rock Christian Academy where he gained over 8,000 yards.
And he doesn't have any wrap on that knee like last week.
Here's Newton. Why not?
No.
Touchdown. He was straightened up that time.
He was.
That was not a Jericho Nelson play that we saw last week when Newton had a touchdown run and a pancake block on the same play. Signal is touchdown. Brandon Taylor right there.
Yeah, he ran right through. Those guys, those safeties are not going to be able to stop a 250-pound fullback. I mean, we saw it for 4 years from Tebow. Now, you know, we thought that was once in a generation player. It's like every year. 1 year went by.
6 plays, 54 yards. Touchdown, Wes Byram with the extra point. Well, this drive began with a deflected pass and an interception. Jefferson throwing deep for Randall, right into the hands of Zach Etheridge. He returned it 41 yards, and Cam Newton got the score. Auburn by 7. CBSSports.com college football experts are on Facebook, chatting about today's games. You can join the conversation now at Facebook.com/CBS Sports. Cam Newton, another touchdown. He's responsible for 26. Look who he shares the record with now, Pat Sullivan. All the way back in 1970, and that was the year before Pat Sullivan won the Heisman.
It's 8 games, right? And already, I never really thought I heard this. There's already little whispers that there may be a new greatest Auburn player ever. Did anybody ever think that would happen with Bo Jackson playing here?
No.
And I'm already hearing the whispers he may be the greatest Auburn player ever. I hope he gets through one season before they announce that.
Yeah, you know, Bo Jackson had a pretty decent career here. Wes Byram will kick off. Peterson comes up, grabs it at the 12. Gets around the corner. Oh, dear. A little collision in the bench area. Well, Auburn yielded a bunch in the first series.
Last week's secondary the review was they didn't tackle well. They didn't play the ball when it was in the air. They didn't break on it when it was thrown. Too big of cushions, and they didn't line up well. So far, they're doing much better in this football game.
Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator, former head coach at Duke. First down. Jefferson. We expect him to go the first 2 series and then to see Jarrett Lee. Les Miles telling us last night, Gary Croton rather, that that's what the intent was. And here's Jefferson spilled as he gets across the 32. Well, if you're Ted Roof last week, and we had fun with him yesterday, you can laugh when you win 65-43, but look at these points that they gave up in the yards last week.
Well, this is a better matchup for Ted this week. Arkansas throws it as sophisticatedly as there anybody in college ball. But for me, if I'm LSU, I'd run downhill and throw. I don't know about all this other stuff. I mean, they seem to be able to block running downhill just like that. And why not attack their weakness in the secondary? I don't know if I'm buying all this other stuff.
That was Stephen Ridley, and he picks up a first down.
You know, Ridley, they say, is not a home run maker, right, Vern? But
right.
So what? You know, I mean, what's wrong with first downs? That ain't too bad.
Russell Shepard coming near side. He was the high school quarterback phenom out of Houston and was switched to a wide receiver last year. Chris Davis, number 11, makes the tackle. We were told last night we can expect to see a lot more Russell Shepard in this game.
He's more of a factor when Jordan Jefferson's in the game. They kind of match those two together.
Now an I formation. Ridley is the deep back behind Stampley. Moves the chain again inside the 45. Now let's head back to New York for this update with Tim Brando.
Another one of those unbeatens, Vern. Oklahoma State very quietly. They cut it to 1 point, and then on the ensuing kick, Niles Paul of Nebraska will take this baby back 100 yards. There was an injury, so the point after is pending, but Nebraska now leads it 13-6. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. You see Oklahoma State, lowest ranked undefeated team. Motion, flags. Tom Ritter is our referee today.
Dead ball, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I kind of thought I saw the quarterback kind of pucker and break his knees on the play here. Let's see what happened with Jordan Jefferson on the play. Yeah, see, I thought he drew the defense off. It's almost as if he forgot the snap count. That could have, usually that's called on the quarterback.
First down 5, second offside we've had called. Jefferson cuts it up as he gets to the right corner and is tackled. He's got a first down again at the 30-yard line. Zach Etheridge makes the stop, number 4.
Well, my criticism of Jordan not being a great option quarterback in this case, he did it exactly the way he should have. Cut back hard and strong. Good block from T-Bob Hebert there.
Number 53, whose son Bobby, of course, was a longtime quarterback with the Saints.
Pretty good success so far from the LSU offense. How does LSU kind of coach around their quarterbacks right now? That's kind of where it is. If they get good play out of 9 and 12, it looks like they can move the ball.
Slip the ball left side. This is Ridley again, number 34. And Josh Bynes makes another tackle, number 17. Latter stages opening quarter. Interception, the big play of this ball game. Zach Etheridge picked it off on a deflection, returned it 41 yards. After that, Auburn went 54 yards for a touchdown.
Last time on third down, interception, bad throw by the quarterback. What do you do now if you're LSU?
Timeout called by Auburn. On third down and 8. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left in the opening quarter. Auburn leads by 7. The touchdown set up on a 41-yard interception return by number 4, Zach Etheridge. And for more on Etheridge and the secondary, let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Well, guys, during all the excitement in the fourth quarter last week versus Arkansas, there was extreme sadness on the Auburn sideline when senior safety Aaron Savage suffered a broken ankle. He had surgery this week and will rehab in hopes of making the bowl game. Fellow senior safety Zach Etheridge said they've texted all week, and he's in good spirits. It said his main concern was finding a leader to step up in his place. Etheridge assured him he would be the guy, and so far he's proving it. Vern.
All right, Tracy, thank you. That was his second interception of the season. Right now, LSU threatening third down 8, and they are at the 28. 3 wides to the left, 1 split wide right. Auburn with 3 down linemen defensively. Got him!
There's a delay.
There's a flag.
Yep. No play. There was no play.
Flag on the near side.
Dead ball, false start, 78 offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Well, that turns out to be a positive of sorts for LSU.
You know, here's what happened also on that one. The linesman whistled the play dead, but I don't think the referee heard it. So they let a free shot go on a quarterback right there. That's when the officials really need to get together to protect the defenseless guy. He got driven in the ground.
It was Nick Fairley who got to Jefferson. 3rd and 13. 2 receivers wide right, 2 wide left. Actually, there are 3 down there.
Timeout again. Timeout, this time I think by LSU.
Yes. Play clock about to expire. Gee, clock management problems. Where have we heard that before?
But this time it was handled by the coach well on the sidelines. You can see at the top of the screen, right by the third down marker, Les saw the clock running down and called the timeout.
Well, Jefferson on that dead ball play, Nick Fairley got him. Time has been called. We're back in Auburn. Gary, you mentioned the problems in seeing the play clock.
It's twofold. It's actually three. It's low. There's a lot of yellow around the clock, and the sun's directly behind him. A bad reflection, very tough to pick up. That one was probably a good call by Les to get out of that play.
Third and 13. Jefferson caught and dropped it to 31. Fourth down. Mike Blanc, number 93, got there.
Now this is very interesting. This is into the wind, and this is right on the edge of being able to kick this one for a field goal. I think that's why LSU ran. They tried to get 5 or 6 yards to get the 3 points. Let's see how close.
Josh Jasper's season long is 51. He's had a good year. He's 13 of 16. But on 4th and 11, he's got to kick this one into the wind from 48 yards. Josh Jasper. Derek Helton is the holder, the punter. Oh, that's got plenty of distance. Nailed it.
Beautiful.
Jasper from 48.
He can do more than run. This is kicker for LSU.
That's right. Oh, my goodness. 7-3. Les Miles. Quite appreciative of that. Monday on CBS, Charlie's new woman is smart and beautiful. So why is he getting cold feet? Find out on a new 2.5 Men Monday, only CBS. 7-3 here. Tigers lead the Tigers. In this case, the edge held by Auburn with 1:47 to go. This will be their third possession. They were 3 and out in the opener and then went 54 for the touchdown. Cam Newton got it from a yard out.
That's about right. About 12 or 13 drives is a normal game when LSU plays sound defense.
Jasper will kick off. Washington and McCaleb are the deep men. McCaleb grabs this one a yard in. He had a 99-yard return last week. And he's got a chance for another big one. But he is cut down out to the 33-yard line by Jai Eugene, number 4.
I tell you, you got to give it to Ontario McCaleb. Ontario goes about 165 pounds wet. I mean, this guy running kickoffs back like this, that takes courage. And he's done it and showed what an excellent kickoff return man he is.
Watch Jai Eugene at the end of this play. He goes over and he does a chest bump with Trooper Taylor, the receivers coach.
Who probably recruited him.
I'm sure that's the case.
Right.
Absolutely. That was amazing. Here's a quick flip out to the left side. Terrell Zachary. Now watch Jai Eugene. Been a very important player for LSU, and Trooper Taylor, who's one of the great recruiters. Is that any good?
Well, there's a lot of respect from these two teams. I mean, they have fought it out year after year. And I tell you, when they play here, they are close games.
I don't want to be a curmudgeon here, but that's probably an NCAA violation.
They're going to let that one slide.
Oh, I hope so. First down and 10. Up the middle, Newton. Now let's go back to the studio for a John Hancock update.
All right, Vern, Gary, Scott Tozieling of Wisconsin here is going to find Brady Ewing a 7-yard strike to make it 10-6. Remember, Iowa and Michigan State are the only Big Ten teams without a conference loss, and those two will meet next week. And Gary, Michigan State won off Michigan soil today. Back to you.
So I'm wrong. I said they'd start 7-0. I should have said 8-0.
Well, boy, they had a tussle. Here's a play fake at Newton looking deep. Double coverage. But there's the, it's tipped away. It was a hand on it. It looked like Brandon Taylor was back, intended for Quindarius Carr. And Peterson was also defending.
One thing we know about Gus Malzahn is he likes to go deep and take 5 or 6 shots downfield. Brandon Taylor, excellent job of keeping his eyes on the football and reaching out with his left hand. That is a wonderful job by Brandon Taylor.
Sets up a 3rd down.
See Calvin Shepard, he's the guy calling all the adjustments.
All SEC middle linebacker. Came into this game leading his team in tackles with 66, 20 more than the second best. Now he drops in coverage across the middle. And that's Shepard went deep, and they went right underneath it. And Terrell Zachary, number 81, appears to have picked up a first down. Appears. Let's see if they need to measure or not.
Coming right across the middle. You know what I like about Cam Newton's throwing is he's obviously got a strong arm, but he's learned to add the touch on the short ones. You got to just throw those. It's like a coach used to tell me, you know, throw an egg on those short ones. Like just toss them an egg so that nothing smashes into their hands like that.
Well, a year ago, Cam Newton was leading Blinn Junior College to the JC National Championship. Here's the ball to the right side. It goes to Ontario McCaleb. Final 10 seconds. Cam Newton, who started, of course, at Florida. Redshirted his sophomore year, then decided to transfer when Tim Tebow came back for his full season. Blinn misses him. They're 5-2 this year. They've got a game with Kilgore Junior College this afternoon. I don't think Cam Newton is thinking about that game right now. That's the end of the first quarter with the score 7-3. We'll return to Jordan Hare right after this message and a word from your local station. We began quarter number 2 at Jordan Hare. I haven't done show and tell since I was in the 4th grade. We're going to try this. Auburn Media Guide for this year. Okay, just at random. Here's a page devoted to Josh Harris, deep snapper, 3 colors. And then go back here under Tiger Newcomers. This is the amount of information devoted to Cameron Newton, quarterback, 6'6", 250 from junior college. If he wins the Heisman, this is a keepsake.
Yeah, this picture will be right here next year, won't it?
Thank you. Well, he's had a very effective first quarter, Garrett.
And you know what they said about him too, Vern, is he came in humble and earned everybody's respect. Now, Vern, did you just channel back to your Bowling for Dollars days?
Oh.
Did you have that kind of stuff back then?
Oh,
You had to give away stuff then back.
Oh, that's really terrible of you.
No. That's fun.
Well, it happened again yesterday, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
It's the show that will not die. Curtis Looper, the running back coach. Well, how about Cam Newton for Heisman? No, that's not important. Oh, goodness. Newton out of College Park, Georgia. Was recruited by Auburn, but turned it down. Went to Florida instead.
Quick snap here.
3rd and 1. There's Kelvin Shepard looking over at the sideline. Whoa!
Yeah, that Drake Nevis was guessing on that. I don't think it was Drake Nevis. I'm sorry. Levingston.
Yep.
Thought it was 92, it was 95, but he was guessing the snap count and he guessed wrong. Good explosion, you just got to wait for the ball.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Think about the pressure, though, when you're on defense in 3rd down. Cam Newton for the year has run the ball on 3rd down 22 times and made it 16 conversions. That's 70, like 3 out of 4 times he's going to make the first down. That's why that hair trigger for LSU was right there.
Now they hurry up, see if they go with a quick snap. They do. Newton back to throw. He's going deep, and it's incomplete. Intended for Darvin Adams, number 89, and Teron Matthew, number 14, was there to knock it away. Well, take a look at this. The single season rush list for quarterbacks. All-time record set by Jimmy Seidel of Auburn in '63, but next in sight, Tim Tebow. Here's a quick flip out left side. Inside the 30, it's going to set up a third down. That's Terrell Zachary, who's been very, very busy in this first half of play.
Again, you could see the speed in the LSU defense. Kelvin Shepard got out there on the play and did not give the receiver a two-way go. That jumps out at you when you're watching LSU play defense.
3rd and 6.
Strength against strength here.
Newton dances right, cuts into his own man, and surges down near the 25. They'll mark it just short. Ron Brooks with the tackle. We go back to New York, and Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, a second weather delay in Fayetteville, but before they got to that delay because of lightning, Jeremiah Masoli, 22 yards to Markeith Summers to cut it to a one-touchdown game, 31-24. Again, a weather delay in Fayetteville. Ole Miss trailing by 7. Back to you.
And the field goal try now coming from Wes Byram from 43 yards out.
I talked to him on the field, Vern. He said he's sore from last week. He kicked so much.
Here's the kick. Plenty of distance. Knocked that home, and with that field goal, he becomes the all-time Auburn scoring leader, breaking a mark held by his predecessor and good friend, John Vaughn. Wes Byram, leading scorer in Auburn Tiger football history. 12:30 to go, first half of play. Saturday afternoon at Jordan-Hare. '71-year history of Jordan-Hare. This is the deepest into the season. We've had 2 unbeaten teams here. And this crowd enjoying it. The aerial views of the SEC on CBS Sports provided by MetLife.
Look how far up the field the LSU returners are on this play. They're on the 10, 12-yard line.
Peterson and Ron Brooks are the deep men. Wes Byram. And this one chases Ron Brooks all the way back to the goal line, through the end zone, and out to the 20. Well, the first BCS standings released this week. Computers in love with the Sooners.
So far.
Yeah. And you saw, and it's time now to cue the duck. Tigers and Ducks, what is the only year in which the teams ranked first and second in the initial BCS standings played for the national title.
So what you're trying to say is that graphic we just showed
Number 12 on the
much
kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Now you're trying to tee me up. I was asked in the preseason by a publication how I would tweak the BCS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
what
I said, well, a couple of sticks of dynamite with it. Not a fan. Anyway, the flag puts the ball back to the Auburn 30.
I think it served its purpose well, personally, for
Yeah,
a lot.
it's
now starting to outgrow it in my mind. I think it's been great up until about now. We may be time to add an amendment or two.
I like that, since it's a political season.
Exactly. "22
plays so far for LSU, and they've gotten 3 points and a turnover. So now the kick coming from the 25. And if form holds now, and Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator, sticks to his plan, we should see Jared Lee in place of Jordan Jefferson. Jared Lee, who was the starter as a redshirt freshman 2 years ago, didn't see much action last year at all as Jefferson assumed the reins. And now he and Jefferson are the 2 quarterbacks in this system. Here's Patrick Peterson. Nice return. So instead of a touchback, They pick up 15 yards on that exchange. And here comes Jarrett Lee for the season now, 72%, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ironically, we talked about Cam Newton playing at Blinn Junior College, which is located in Brenham, Texas. That is where Jarrett Lee played his high school football for the Brenham Cubs. His dad was an assistant coach there, Stephen. And Jarrett Lee has had a very effective season so far. Led them to the win at Florida. Quick toss, Ruben Randall. And that's going to be a first down. Jarrett Lee, and of course, Gary, we called several of his games when he was that redshirt freshman, had the abysmal record of 14 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
He did. I felt bad for him that year. They were coming off a national championship type season and a chance for it with a veteran team, and he was asked to do way too much too early. Anticipating too many throws, trying to make things happen. He looks much more calm out there now.
And from everything we have heard from everybody at LSU, he's handled his length of stay there with great grace and dignity. Here's the toss and the ball for the first down at the 49.
Well, you know, we asked Les Miles on the phone whether he wanted a quarterback to emerge, and he said, no, I'm comfortable for it, with it the way it is. And then I talked to Gary Croton down on the field, and he kind of reiterated that. He says, you know what, in a lot of ways, Les likes it. He likes to have 2 quarterbacks ready, so if something happens, he can go to the other guy.
First down and 10. Michael Ford is in the backfield.
Boy, safeties are in the box. Look at this. There is nobody deep. That's the deep safety right there.
Under some pressure. Catch is made out on the left side by Ruben Randall. He has been the intended target quite often here in the first half.
It's a little surprising to me. I thought that Auburn, when they came in with the throwing quarterback, would have a safety way back here. But no, they're within 6 yards, 7 yards of the football, challenging the running game of LSU.
Etheridge with the tackle. Second down 2. Got him. That's Richard Murphy, number 18, who had such high hopes for a big season and has played sparingly. Antoine Carter makes the tackle.
And this was not smooth right here. It's one of the problems with 2 quarterbacks is the ball handling's a little different. He bobbled, Jarrett Lee bobbled the snap, and then it was never clean after that.
3rd and 5.
And this is usually number 80, Terrence Tolliver time. That's who they go to on 3rd down.
He's to the right side. Here's Lee looking left. Underneath pass. It's caught by Tolliver.
That's who they throw to. Gene Chizik told us that's who they go to on 3rd down. Ted Roof told us that's who they go to on 3rd down. Zach Etheridge told us that's who they go to on 3rd down. They were all right.
First down.
Uh-oh.
Russell Shepard. Looked like a steer wrestling contest out there.
And DeMond Washington did a nice job that time, fighting off a block and making the tackle at the same time. He's the field corner on this play. He fights off a block from Ruben Randall and then makes the play at the same time.
2nd and 11 following the loss of 1. Shepard and Tolliver break and go wide to the left. Out of the gun, Jarrett Lee. Auburn brings 4. Lee, nobody open left side. Now this is not his strong point. That is, and it's dropped. Was it behind him?
A little bit, but that was enough time to catch that ball. Angelo Peterson, the tight end, needs to make that play. It's, 2nd and long. This is going to get about 8 yards. It was a little bit behind him. Just to read it, that story of Les liking 2 quarterbacks. Remember when they won the national title with Matt Flynn, Ryan Perrilloux played a big role in that season. So he kind of likes the changeup of 2 quarterbacks.
Randall, Shepard, and Peterson wide left.
Ted Roof is challenging his front four to put pressure on the quarterback. Let's see if they do.
There's a blitz. They got him. Nick Fairley, who is having a stellar season, leads this team in sacks, and he just picked up his 6th.
Well, he challenged his front four, but he brought 6 guys. This guy right here has the back, and this guy has the back. Whichever one he blocks, he takes them. And then the other one comes in for the sack. Beautiful play that time. Josh Bynes gets the sack on the play.
That's going to bring Derek Helton on to punt. So they reach the 39, and Quindarius Carr is the deep man, number 9. He's at the 10-yard line. Carr gets out of the way.
Catch that one. You need to catch that one. That's just bad. That lost your team 17 yards. Maybe 13 yards to be fair, but you need to catch it.
Yep. 48-yard punt, and the ball is at the 1. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station. Many times returning punts involves decision making. Take a look at the decision by Quindarius Carr.
All right, Quindarius Carr has his feet right there on the 10. You're supposed to not go backwards, but watch what happens here. The ball lands on the 16, and it costs them 15 yards on the play. Now, sometimes those demons of mistakes in the past come back. Quindarius Carr fumbled that punt that led to a touchdown by Mississippi State. So I don't think he showed confidence there on that punt. That ball should have been caught.
First down 10 officially from the 1, and Cam Newton will take it to the right side. Oh, he didn't get the block, and Morris Claiborne was able to make the tackle. Newton needed 1 block. Ontario McCaleb, and he didn't get the block.
Yeah, well, it would have been, a nice block. He was McCaleb was looking outside, and he saw Claiborne at the last second and wasn't quick enough to get there. Again, speed on defense. It's a difference out here watching LSU than Arkansas a week ago.
Second down. There's a slip tackle, and Newton up to the 10. Well, the Auburn Tigers began this with a rarity for them this year, 3 and out. But then after the 41-yard interception return by Zach Etheridge, 54-yard touchdown drive.
What did John Chavis, defensive coordinator, tell us? Don't tackle him high. And that's exactly what happened on that play. Too high, he ran right through it.
Third down, quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Oh, brother, McCaleb, he got the first down. He was almost nailed for a loss. But Auburn is able to move the chain.
Well, he might not have made a block, but he slipped through very nicely on this one.
Yep. Now up the middle.
Stout defense. That's
Michael Dyer. Is this just a matter of, is it a scheme or just better athletes than we saw last
week?
week?
Absolutely. Better front four, more active by LSU, more speed at linebacker, and they also have, Peterson has not made a lot of plays in this game, but it's the safety of him out here. They know he's got that guy, and they don't worry about it.
Second down.
The other thing that I think LSU is doing, Vern, is staying very simple. They're not giving a lot of looks to Gus Malzahn before the snap.
Newton back, draw play, designed all the way, and he's got a lot of room and a little bit of speed. Mike Berry, number 66, led the way. It's a gain of 29 yards.
Well, it's a guessing game, and this time it was a brilliant call because up front, Mike Berry got the block, but Cam Newton takes one step back and follows his big guy. Sets up the block and then sprints into the end zone. Gus Malzahn's got about 50 of those plays that he's been running for 10 years, and he knows where to go with them.
This time, Newton keeps it and comes left. across the 50.
What I was talking about simplicity sometimes on defense, Gus is calling the plays like a hurry up. He wants a hurry up play right here. He wants to quickly go on second down, especially near hash is when they really want to go fast.
And so the play signaled in.
The umpire was
yes, he
stopping.
was late. That's right. Up the middle, Dyer, first down, Auburn.
They want to go quick again. Near hash, go quick again. Gus Malzahn is going go, 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 go. How about he said to us, did you watch much of Oregon? He says, no, but they really go fast, don't they?
First down and 10. Dyer again, going right. It'll be second down. Now Newton is already looking over.
Yeah, but this is middle of the field now.
Okay.
And he won't go quite as fast. He's going to make a personnel change. How about this fact, though? Usually you see there's offensive coordinators staring at their game plan. He's got help, but he says he memorizes the whole game plan and calls it from his head.
Second down. Now Newton will look over, and the cards are flashed. There are 3 of them on the sidelines on second down. Newton looks over one more time. And the snap. Mario Fannin. Thought for a moment it was 23 instead of 27. 14-yard gain.
Well, 3 straight SEC 300-yard rushing games in a row for Auburn. And it looks like flash and dash, but it's downhill running. It's exactly what Lee Zimba told us about this offense. We're more physical than people think.
Newton starts in the middle, comes left, goes back to the middle, and is tackled after a yard and a half by Michael Brockers, number 90. He got popped pretty well at the end of this.
Dance to the outside, comes back in.
Ouch.
Was kind of falling down at the time that Brockers got him almost helmet to helmet.
Yes,
there,
it was very close.
One that you can't avoid, though. This is going to be a quick snap here, or at least the linemen are going to go real quick. Look how close they are to the line of scrimmage.
This is the 11th play of the drive that started on the 1-yard line. Newton, they slip it up the middle, don't get anything. And Cam Newton is now number 2 behind Jimmy Seidel. Single season rush yards. I have a feeling he might pass Seidel.
Yeah.
Maybe today.
Jimmy Seidel saying, well, at least I got my name in here.
Yeah, that's right. 3rd and 7.
Cam said it's his responsibility to tell the offensive line. Everybody else looks to their coach.
Right. 3rd and 7. They'll throw. Across the middle. I'm not sure where that was intended.
Yeah, he never got his feet set that time. Newton felt the pressure up front, whether it was coming or not, but I thought it was Drake Nevis that did a decent job to move Cam out of the pocket and cause the poor throw.
Drake Nevis is having a big season now. Almost anointed by Glenn Dorsey. He said he's going to be the next great defensive lineman. He's having a terrific season. Here's Byram from 39 yards out. Oh, no. No. Byram. Missed badly. Les Miles kind of liked it. Okay. Oh, okay. BCS standings, the first of the season revealed last Sunday. Oklahoma on top, Oregon second, Boise State, and then Auburn is 4th. And there cues up the answer to the trivia question. The only year in which the teams ranked 1 and 2 at the start played for the national title. 2005, Texas, Southern Cal. Pretty good football game if I recall. Jarrett Lee is still in at quarterback. This will be his 2nd series.
If I'm LSU, I'm looking for the time when I can throw the ball downfield. Auburn has shown poor ball skills with the ball in the air. I got to challenge them a little bit.
There's Russell Shepard on the quick pass out to the right flat. And they gained 4. Chris Davis, number 11, makes the tackle.
Just as important for LSU, Vern, is that there's 2.5 minutes to go in the half, and they get the ball to start the next half. So they want to take clock off also.
And swing pass, Shepard with that spin. He got the first down.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Very, very close. He might be short, though. Did his knee come down short of the line?
They did.
Yep.
Up the middle, Richard Murphy, number 18. Well, Matt Mock wore number 18 for LSU when he was the quarterback, passed it on to Jacob Hester and Richard Dixon, and Murphy is this year. It's a tradition that's less than a decade old, but quite an honor now for anybody to be voted to wear number 18, and the vote includes Matt Mock.
And
Jarrett Lee.
He's wearing Nick Fairley on this one.
Yeah.
Nick Fairley, number 90, was all in his jersey that time. Watch Nick come up right there and plant him, and that's when that left wrist, left elbow, when you get driven. I broke my wrist on a play very similar to this.
Ouch.
Otis McKinney, strong safety for the Oakland Raiders. You don't forget those things.
No. Well, time has been called by the officials. Jarrett Lee and Jefferson warming up now.
Nick Fairley has been a tear in the SEC. Maybe the best defensive lineman, he along with Drake Nevis all year. Runs right through. And that's a good play. I mean, you can't call that unnecessary roughness or anything. He had to take the quarterback down, and that is a good call and a great play by Fairley.
And it was a week ago here that he sacked Ryan Mallett. Turned out that on that sack, Mallett suffered a concussion. Ryan Mallett is playing in the game today. He was cleared for further play. And now, 2nd down and 10, and Jefferson is on.
Now do you call plays different? You don't want to make a mistake at your own end here. 10-3 is not a bad halftime score.
4-man rush, Auburn. Jefferson, no.
Face mask.
Look at that, 3 hankies.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And now it gets very nice to throw the ball around. You're going to get close to the 50-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, number 45 defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, Ted Roof challenged his front four to put pressure on the quarterbacks, and this time Anton Carter, number 45, didn't quite have the pass rush, but as he came around, he was in position to make a tackle and inadvertently got the face mask.
And that does move it across the 50.
Yeah, much more comfortable play calling now for LSU.
Jefferson, read option, he goes left. Out of bounds to stop the clock with the first down. Longest play of the game for LSU.
Yeah, he absolutely, Vern, you called it, the read keep by the quarterback. Watch him read over here, coming down flat fairly, coming down over there, just run it the other way, like checkers. You go here, I go there. It's not that hard if you can run fast.
That's a gain of 15 and a first down at the 35.
Game plan could not be going any better for LSU. Close game, not high scoring.
Down goes. I don't want to emulate Howard Cosell. I'm not going to do that. That's Nick Fairley with the sack.
And he beat Josh Dworzak that time, number 68, pretty cleanly. And that guy is just showing you why people say he's the most valuable defensive lineman in the SEC for the first half of the year. Drake Nevis might have been, but Fairley's just as strong.
Second sack in this first half for Nick Fairley. Time called by LSU.
Tim Brando in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. Spencer and I will get you caught up on all the action, including Michigan State comes from 17 down to beat Northwestern. Edwin Baker's 25-yard touchdown run with the clincher. They're 8-0 for the first time since '66. Back to LSU Auburn.
10-3 Auburn, Jarrett Lee, injured quarterback. He was taken down by Nick Fairley just a few moments ago, injured his right wrist, and was replaced by Jordan Jefferson. Jarrett Lee walked into the locker room just a moment ago in obvious pain. He had hit 6 of 8, modest yardage. Jefferson 3 of 7 with 1 interception.
LSU needs 7 yards for a 50-yard field goal. Of course, they take a touchdown, but they need 7 yards.
Jefferson chased, fires it, man wide open.
Oh.
Tolliver drops it.
Oh my! Did he grab it though right before it hit the ground?
Well, the official says no. Very strong signal that it was incomplete.
Oh, you can't do any better than this. This is maybe, Jordan Jefferson said, I'm not getting any help. Couple of my fault, but that one wasn't. Yep, that bounced off the ground, no doubt about it. Holy cow. Gee.
Third and 16. Jefferson running free. He's got a first down at the 23-yard line.
Now he needs to clock it. Let's see if that LSU bench is awake right here now.
1:06 to go.
Or call a play quickly.
They are out of timeouts.
Clock stops while they line up. Remember that? Oh, very good job. They're ready to go. Look at that.
There's the snap. 3 receivers out. Pass is complete.
Really the offense's advantage when they hurry up after a first down like that.
Tolliver makes the catch.
Look at how much more prepared. There you are, ready to go.
3 wide right, 1 to the left. Here's Jefferson, high snap, controls it behind the receiver, but Murphy makes the catch. Richard Murphy, number 18, and a little jawboning going on. Josh Bynes.
Now Tolliver had the big drop, but remember Terrence Tolliver also had the big fade catch against Florida. That's who they like to go to on that situation. Nick Fairley out of the game here, and Auburn takes a timeout.
That's their second one left, 48 seconds to go. And when we come back to Jordan Hare, second down, 7. 48 seconds to go, second down and 7. Tim and Spencer with the Geico halftime report coming up as soon as we reach the end of the first half here. Terrence Tolliver with that big catch against Florida.
Right, and so far Auburn has not been going man-to-man press like Florida did, because they saw this play and they said, we don't like the matchup, we're going to play off. Now, let's get back to what's happening right here. I thought that was a great timeout by Auburn. They were tired and a lot of things were happening. They wanted to regroup for these final 2 plays here.
This is the 11th play of a drive that began after a missed 39-yard field goal.
And Nick Fairley is gassed. Even a timeout didn't get him back on the field.
He's still out.
They're going press out there.
Jefferson takes off and runs out of bounds just inside the 5. And that stops the clock with 43 seconds to go.
Well, so many people have second-guessed the 2-quarterback LSU system. Frankly, they haven't been producing a lot of offense, but it has paid off for Les Miles in this football game. He has both quarterbacks ready, and he's got one goes down, and the other guy's doing the job right now.
3rd and 1 at the 3.
Have that field goal team ready if you're LSU.
Blitz into the corner. Tolliver, no. There's a flag down.
Nico Thorpe, I think, is the guy who held Tolliver's jersey on the play. They were waiting for bump and run, weren't they? I thought they were going to go on 3rd down. Excuse me, the down prior. But they saw it on this one, and they went with it. Now it gets a little hairy here. 39 seconds. You got to call.
Number 15 of the defense. The foul took place in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Nico Thorpe grabs the jersey. That's an easy call. Had his hand on the ball, but it came way out before. You got to call 2 plays in the huddle if you run it. If you're running it, you have to have 2 plays called.
See the Verizon Red Zone stats. Ridley. Nothing. Clock running with 34 seconds to go.
Either going to clock it or he had another one ready.
Jefferson looked like he was making a signal to clock it. Les Miles would seem to confirm that.
Yeah, Auburn won't get off the pile, so the officials do a good job of stopping the clock. That's the way it goes.
Now the ball marked for play.
They're going to clock it here.
There it is.
Now you're in a position where you have to throw the ball or you're really rolling the dice. Les is looking at the clock and saying 19 seconds. He's got an easy time for a fade here. If he runs it, it's a gamble that they can get a field goal off.
Third and goal. Everybody in tight. Now they split. Peterson goes wide to the left. And Jefferson now has Peterson coming across the line of scrimmage.
Oh, they got it off.
Oh, the missed tackle. Jefferson, touchdown. Devin Bates, number 25, had the tackle back at the 13.
And had the tackle been made, the half would have ended. Remember, we talked about Jordan Jefferson. He did not let a touchdown drive since the first play at Tennessee. 19 seconds. The clock goes to 0 in the ball. Now that's the delay that the official's looking at the play clock and grabbing the flag. But right there, if that tackle's made, the half ends.
And Bates is still down. There's the missed tackle.
The way I understand the rule is it's not the clock like basketball. Okay? You don't superimpose the play clock and the snap and say you didn't get it off like the red light comes out in basketball. When you and Rafter, you're doing it, okay?
Okay.
I think it's a referee's call.
Got it.
That makes the play.
Now Bates will trot off unassisted.
If he goes low here, of course he's lunging on the play and Russell goes through it. Excuse me. Jordan Jefferson goes right through it. But how about that lead drive after the injury to Jarrett Lee? It was a called pass play, but it could have been a sack, and I think they would not have got their field goal team out there in time.
Jarrett Lee is back on the bench. Josh Jasper will try the extra point to tie this one up. Among the legendary games between these two, remember the missed extra point and a penalty called. And on the retry, they got it. 10-9 the final then. It's 10-10 here.
All right. Auburn fans are saying, what about the play clock? The play clock, does it run down to 0 before they snap the ball? Remember, the play has to be called by the back judge as a penalty. Clock goes to 0. The ball is not snapped yet. But it was not whistled. And the way I understand the rule is the play has to be called. There's time between when it hits 0 and when the official throws the flag. I just explain them. I don't say whether it's right or wrong. Seems to me 0 means 0.
It certainly looked that way, didn't it?
There's no time after 0, is there? The time is between 1 and 0, right?
My, oh my. Well, it wouldn't be a Saturday in the SEC without
No, but it was a brilliant drive. The key play of the drive, there was two of them really. The face mask, and then the 3rd and 15 scramble by Jordan Jefferson.
And it all took place after a missed field goal. 78 yards in 14 plays, 2.5 off the clock. Jefferson gets it after Devin Bates missed the tackle back at the 13-yard line. Here's Jasper's squib kick. Picked up at the 30. Boy, how many times have we seen that kind of a play result in a fumble?
Yeah, because he barely had it, but
Lutsen-Kirkin picked it up.
Lutsen-Kirkin's a skilled player, though, on that play. It's not an offensive lineman. Let's go back to the drive. This is the 3rd and 15. Jordan Jefferson gets out and then gets 15 yards on the play. You can see how deep Josh Bynes was that time in the deep zone, trying to protect against the deep throw, and the scramble picks up the first down.
First down 10, Auburn, with 9 seconds to go before the break. Newton will take a shot at nobody open downfield, so he flips it out. It's complete to Ontario McCaleb. 1 second to go, time called. And that's a gain of 17. They'll have one try for the end zone.
Auburn will take a timeout and before this play.
They just did. 1 second to go. 10-10 ball game. CBS.
For this play, I saved this, Vern. It was in the Michigan State Notre Dame game, and the proper mechanics by the back judges to look for the play clock and throw the flag. There is a half-second time in between.
Here's Newton. Heaves it into the end zone. Ball is up, the ball is down, and the half has ended. Not without some talking points, however. Let's go down to Tracy, who's with Les Miles.
Thanks, Vern. Coach, Jarrett Lee had x-rays on his right wrist. They were ruled a sprain. Can you tell us if he'll be able to return in the second half?
I'm told by him that he's fine.
If he can't go, though, what will you miss with him being out?
Well, I'm not really focused on what we're going to miss. I really enjoyed the drive that Jefferson orchestrated in the back end, along with Lee, to drive down there and tie the game.
How important was that in terms of momentum going into the half?
Well, 10-10 now is much different. Second half's we're playing for victory.
You mentioned just giving up 10 points. How is your defense able to hold them to just 10 points?
Well, honestly, I think our defense needs to play better. I see some missed tackles. I think our defense is going to look at that half and say, no, we need to play better.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
Jarrett Lee went down when tackled by Nick Fairley. Jordan Jefferson came on. He had started the game and had the big scramble on 3rd and 15 for a first down, then got the touchdown. That's the end of the half. It's 10-10 here. Let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio. Back to Jordan Hare, campus of Auburn University, Auburn, Alabama, 87,451. They all paid. A few others probably snuck in. And moments ago, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Coach, the key adjustments you had to make in the locker room at half.
Well, obviously, we got to play better on defense when we have opportunities to make big plays. We had a tackle we could have made down here on that last drive. We didn't make that. We had a couple interceptions that we've dropped. Quarterback contain is going to be huge in this second half for our defense. Offensively, we just got to keep plugging along, and good things will eventually happen.
This team has proven they can win the close ones. It looks like this might go down to the wire. Did you remind them of that in the locker room?
Oh, absolutely. We think every game is going to go down the wire. That's what we prepare for. We've been here before. We got 30 minutes of one of those old-fashioned great SEC games, so you got to hold on with both hands.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Vern.
All right, thank you. Jarrett Lee back on the sidelines. Tracy reporting as we went to break at the beginning of the half that it's a sprain, but that he is going to be able to go. And LSU will get the ball to open this quarter. Ron Brooks to the left, Patrick Peterson to the right. And a fairly heavy breeze at the beginning of the afternoon, the beginning of the game, but it's subsided considerably right now. (10-10) LSU Auburn, SEC West, both undefeated. Ron Brooks at the 5, near side. He was on his way down when he was tackled. Now, at the end of the half, there was a bit of controversy involving the play clock.
And everybody in the press box wanted to know about it too. We put it in sync with our computers side by side. As it hits 0, the ball is being snapped. So it was the correct call on the field. We were blocked from our view. There was no lag in time. He actually got the ball moving. So all the Auburn fans that were saying it shouldn't have counted were not accurate.
Fumble, Jefferson. This time he's tackled. Misses the direct snap, and he's down at the 21. Antoine Carter was there.
Well, this is the Wildcat with Russell Shepard going in motion, faking or giving on the speed sweep, and you can see it. The timing is important, and that snap is also huge.
Loss of 4, second down 14. Spencer Ware is in the backfield. So also is Michael Ford. Play action. Jefferson, nobody open. This is where he really can help his team. Craig Stevens makes the tackle. Third down. Fires it. Tolliver leans out and might, well, no, the spot's going to be a yard short. Fourth down. Nico Thorpe, number 15, makes the tackle.
Well, that was good, solid defense by Auburn. They forced that throw in front of them, and they're going to force a punt and 3 and out on the first drive of the second half.
Interesting, this game began with Auburn going 3 and out, and now LSU brings out Derek Hilton, number 38.
But excuse me, Vern.
Sure.
With less, it's 3 and who knows.
Quite true. 4th and 1. Oh, beauty.
Beautiful punt.
Derek Hilton chases Carr all the way back inside the 10. The fair catch made at the 9. That is a 56-yard Derek Hilton punt.
Well, the most important trend for LSU is they never let Cam Newton get going. You know, where the smile was bright and he's making guys miss tackles. Jordan Jefferson had that great last drive. Lee was 6 for 8 until he injured his hand. He started that drive, so the 2-quarterback system work, and you can see the difference. First half to second half, this is a legitimate, one of the best defenses in college football, and they're corralling this Auburn offense so far.
On first down 10, Ontario McCaleb starts in motion. Play fake. Newton rolling out, lobs it up. Caught. That's Darvin Adams. That's his first catch today, and there's a flag down back at the 15.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back. I think you're right. You can tell by the body language. Not many times you see Cam Newton without a smile, but he knew it was going to be holding. Coming across the field, Darvin Adams turned over to the safety, and nice throw, but all for naught.
Eligible player downfield, number 75. Half the distance to the goal, we play first down.
Yeah, I think it was
Brandon Mosley.
Yes. Didn't quite see that. Everybody, I think, even the offensive line for Auburn, once Cam misses a tackle, he figures Cam's going to go. Right in the middle right there, he comes to block, and when he's downfield blocking on the linebacker, they just too easy of a call.
Well, that wiped out a 19-yard gain. Hand off left side. Oh, watch out. Michael Dyer all the way to the 35-yard line.
See, I worked all week. Ray Rice is who the guy he reminds me of. And just like this, Ray Rice used to run the ball at Rutgers. Great balance, short in stature on the play, but he runs right through him and then gets to the outside. Patrick Peterson does enough to get him to the sideline, but it's perfect balance, and that was just a power play.
That's a gain of 29. LSU.
McCaleb's hid right next to the quarterback, crouching down right there. See him?
Play action. Got a man open. Darvin Adams. He's at the 50 and is out of bounds. Darvin Adams' second catch for this one will count. It's good for 16-yard gain.
It's that sugar huddle. They come out really quickly. There was a corner blitz on the play, and Darvin Adams just went across the across the field. Easy pitch and catch.
And now over at the Auburn sideline, they've got the card system working. They see the one player with all kinds of numbers.
Yeah, they got cards, colors, numbers, signals, headsets. They got everything.
Newton up the middle. No, I'm sorry, goes right. Still loose.
Oh, did he accelerate?
How about
Oh, my
that?
goodness.
Touchdown, Auburn. That was extraordinary.
Unbelievable.
Electrifying.
First of all, did he cross the goal line? His knee comes down, but the ball was stretched out on the play. It's called a touchdown. I'm sure it'll be reviewed. It's going to be very close, but when he saw Peterson, he accelerated on the 15-yard line, and that was a Heisman run if I've ever seen one.
Here's Tom Ritter. Ben Oldham is the replay official today.
Incredible explosion, cutback, everything in one play. I think he's in position.
You think? He's got a pretty good view of it.
And remember, it's not where the ball hits the ground, it's where it breaks the plane. That plane goes all the way up to infinity. I don't know if it popped on TV the way it did in person, but when he saw Peterson come and he accelerated about the 15-yard line, it was incredible. So he's got the ball stretched out. That's not going to show any difference. That won't be overturned.
Now look at the mechanics of the official. Perfect position.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And it should be. That should be a highlight reel for all time. And he's doing it against one of the best defenses in college football.
Well, he's had a below-average day now. He's only rushed for 127 yards.
And that's his 9th run of over 20 yards this year. In 2007, when Tim Tebow won the Heisman, he only had 4 runs of over 20 yards all year.
All right, let's just settle back and watch a young man who is fulfilling his athletic potential.
.6'6", 250, ladies and gentlemen. Watch him accelerate right now. Oh my gosh.
Auburn leads. Well, the applause has continued for Cameron Newton, College Park, Georgia, playing in his 8th game for the Auburn Tigers. A brilliant 49-yard touchdown run. And Auburn's up 17-10. That was something.
Yeah. I haven't seen much like that. You know, I was quoted this week saying my jaw dropped when I saw Michael Vick, Tim Tebow, Vince Young, but this guy makes my jaw drop.
Here is the kick. Taken by Peterson. Peterson near side. Oh, he is elusive. Just is stopped from behind. Tackle made by Chris Davis, number 11. You know, it's funny, Gary. Chuck Gardner, our statistician who's been with me for 15 years, just reminded me we did a Virginia Tech at Boston College game a decade ago. Michael Vick had an 82-yard run in that game. I thought that was the best. The one we just saw is the equal.
Well, and Patrick Peterson, just to show you the level of athletes on this field, almost did a one-topper right like that. So you can tell you have to have great athletes against these guys. It's not scheme. These athletes are changing college football.
Jarrett Lee is back in there, sprained wrist and all.
I asked for this, Vern, to watch it from the play-by-play cameras because I think you can see him accelerate. Watch him right about now. Could you see that burst? And he's going against a future top 10 pick there in Patrick Peterson, and he was accelerating away from him.
Jarrett Lee missed the final sequence. Here's the handoff right side to Michael Ford. He's popped. Craig Stevens got him, number 46.
Well, Craig Stevens and Josh Bynes don't come off the field. They're veterans. They've seen it all. And both of them are saying this is more fun than playing against Arkansas.
3rd and 6. Lee back, near side, tipped away, good coverage. Chris Davis, who wanted offensive interference called on Rendell. And Tolliver was down there as well.
This is about what I was calling for. Let's put some balls deep if you're the LSU offense. And you see Chris Davis, he ran right through him. Very seldom you're going to get that call because Randall was going for the ball. As right at the end of that play, meet Mr. Fairley again. Totally unfair that a guy is that good. Fairley. But you got to throw some deep balls because you got to figure your athletes on offense is going to grab one of those sooner or later. Great coverage by Chris Davis.
Quindarius Carr is back at the 10. Here's Helton, who's had a good afternoon, sends this one very high. And the fair catch is called. Well, he let it go. Yep. This time he gets a break.
Now that one was good fundamentals.
Okay.
He lined up at the 10. The ball went over his head. He let it go.
And it will come out to the 20. 9:28 to go. Cam Newton when we return. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Macy's, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Dr. Pepper, and by TIAA Craft. Well, Cam Newton told us last week, I am a throwing quarterback. He can also run pretty well. Now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
Well, in the open, Vern, we had 3 different plays when he went through, around, and over Arkansas. Well, here he goes through, around, and then over the goal line. That was, you don't even have to stay up late and watch the show tonight.
Right.
They'll spend half the night doing that play right there. We saved you some sleep.
Auburn leads at 17-10. Second 3-and-out in succession for the LSU Tigers. Now Michael Dyer in the backfield. He gets the handoff and picks up 4, almost 5 yards. Now let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
Vern, Gary, I don't think there's any doubt as to college football's best player. You've got him where you are, but this segment is sponsored. Terrell Pryor did have 3 touchdowns today, so a little redemption for him. DeMarco Murray will lead the BCS #1 Oklahoma against fellow unbeaten Missouri tonight. And over on CBS College Sports, Andy Dalton will take the unbeaten Frogs against Air Force. Back to you.
Well, Tim, I always like it when you're malleable. You know, you can shift with the tide. Here's Newton. Fires it, put it low, incomplete. Good coverage from Morris Claiborne. Well, let's take a look at a comparison of Cam Newton's season. Newton for the year, 987 yards rushing and 13 passing touchdowns.
And about 9 wow plays, which you need a couple of if you're going to win it.
Well, this is...
and having a 8 and a 0 on the team record also works pretty good, too.
Third down 5. LSU brings 4. Newton across the middle. Caught.
Look at that.
Just drilled it. Darvin Adams, first down, Auburn.
I have kind of saved my evaluation of Cam until I've seen him practice twice and now watched him twice. People have been saying he's a great prospect for the NFL. I will say this. I think at this stage of his career, as we watch Auburn get ready to either snap it or fake snap it.
To be continued. There's a quick clip, just a little bit in front of Zachary, but led in just perfectly. I mean,
yes, he did.
Yeah.
He's learned to touch. And here's what I will say. At this stage of his career, he's a better pro prospect than Jamarcus Russell was, Tim Tebow was. And I think the only guy I've seen in the SEC since I've been here that's superior or farther along was Matthew Stafford. He will definitely be drafted very high in the NFL. He's got a pro arm, and he's obviously got some other tools, but he has the throwing motion to play at the next level.
Of course, I think you're beginning to get familiar with his story. It's first down and 10 now.
Wonderful.
Up the middle. Fumble. Mario Fannin, who's had fumble problems, loses the ball, and LSU takes over.
Well, this might have been the most important stop in this football game for this LSU defense. They were on their heels. A fumble coming from the side that time. Was it Ryan Baker or Stephon Francois? I don't know who got his hand on it from the side, but there was a tackle.
Ryan Baker.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan Baker. That's what I thought. Coming from the side, Ryan Baker, and that changes everything. Everything seemed to be going Auburn's way. All of a sudden, a turnover can change it.
Beautiful view from a couple of thousand feet up, and aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS is provided by MetLife. Mario Fannin with the fumble, and I would expect feeling a little lonely right now.
Yeah, he had to go talk to his offensive coordinator. I think he said, like, don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. It's one of those things that happen. I'm fine. That's what I think he said. I don't know for sure. Hey, 2 straight 3-and-outs for Auburn. Can they do it again?
And let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, this banged-up Auburn defense just got a little thinner. Starting linebacker, sophomore Darren Bates hurt his shoulder at the end of the second quarter. He is out for the game.
All right, thank you, Trey. Second down and 10. No gain last play. 7:40 to go, third quarter. 17-10, Auburn.
That's got Jonathan Evans, number 35, is in there replacing him. One of the great special teams players for Auburn.
Jefferson fakes it, goes right into the secondary. Delivers a little Cam Newton of his own.
Yeah, Gary Croton was right. But he said what I like about what Jordan Jefferson gives us is great downhill running from our Wildcat. And he is a difference with that running attack. Now both scrambling on passes, but on that design play right there.
There's Evans on in place of Bates. Quick count. Jefferson rolls out to his right. One hopper at the feet of Reuben Randall. Let's go back to the studio for a John Hancock update.
Back and forth, Vern, we go in the Big Ten at Kinnick Stadium. This is the 6th lead change of the afternoon. John Clay burrows in for Brett Bielema's squad, and Whiskey retakes the lead at 24-20. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim. Second down and 10.
All this stuff that's been going Auburn's way. It's 17-10.
Right.
Just relax if you're LSU.
Ridley goes right. Gets by the first wave and then is tackled after a 2-yard gain. Josh Bynes, number 17, led the tackling group.
Now here's that key third down play where Auburn has, remember the last time they brought extra players, they said 4-man rush, but they brought 6. Will they bring 6 again? They need about 5 yards, Vern, for a field goal.
LSU's been quite good on third down conversion, 6 of 11 so far. They need 8 right here. 3 down, they bring 6. Jefferson, right side, incomplete.
Same look, didn't they? Ted Roof remembered the same thing we did. Last time I brought 6, it worked. This time I bring 6 again and forced an early throw.
Watch the middle linebacker, Josh Bynes. He had almost a clean shot, yes.
Yeah, well designed, wasn't it? How he looped around, he let the defensive end come down and looped around behind him. This is in between. Do you go for it? Do you punt? I don't think you can kick a field goal this far.
Be your basic.
They've already done the flip. They can't do the fake field goal.
No, that's right.
And Auburn's going to stay in defense safe.
Okay, so Quindarius Carr is back at the 10. Now, a whistle.
Delay again. Not a big delay again.
No,
in this
not
situation.
at all.
What will Gene Chizik do? Will he take 5 yards or will he force him to punt there? He's going to decline this.
Delay game, number 30 on the offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
See, this is where you got to know your opponent. He's trying to tempt Les to go for it. He's going to say, Les, it's only 8 yards. You can do it.
Here's Josh Jasper. Okay.
Yeah, but I got my defense safe in there. So let's see what happens.
Remember last week, Josh Jasper? He faked it and ran for the first down. I would assume Auburn saw that tape.
Yeah, this is a punt instead of a field goal, a little different.
Right.
Perfect.
Wow.
The truck just told us that he faked a punt last week, too. That is right. I do remember that now. That was perfect, though, wasn't it?
Ron Brooks. 36-yard punt. Needless to say, no return. Be right back. Coming off a division title with Carson Palmer, Ocho Cinco, and T.O. on board, the Bengals had high hopes, but the game plan hasn't played out. What happened? Shannon Sharp has the story tomorrow on the NFL Today. 6:18 to go, third quarter in this one, and for the second time in the ballgame, Auburn has been forced to start a drive inside their own 5. Here's Cameron Newton. Ryan Pugh, the center, snaps it back. Not much there that time. Greg Nevis, number 92, was down low.
Well, we talked about it before, how Auburn gets the plays. There's cards, there's numbers, there's coaches, there's letters. B-52, that's got to be the bomb, doesn't it, the B-52 play?
Well,
let's see.
If there's any symmetry to this, he's going deep.
Oh, good defense.
Yes, it was. Oh, wow. Forward progress is going to be marked at the 1.
Well,
to Ron Matthew, number 14.
The crowd is reacting that the forward progress was about at the 5.
Well, let's look again.
That's what Gene Chizik is saying too. 6-yard line, he gets hit and knocked backwards, and then really never gets his momentum going again. That was a strange call.
They're going to look at it again.
Yeah, that's a strange call. That's reviewable.
There's the catch.
Yep.
There's the contact, and he's out well across the 5.
Yeah, he never regathers himself again, and then he gets hit before he gets to turn up. I think they may bring this ball back out to the 6-yard line. Gene Chizik was right out on the field as fast as he could.
All right, here's the catch and the contact. 1 foot down, 2 feet down.
Yeah, I thought one of the linesmen spotted it, and then the other linesman overruled it and said it's down to the 1. So I'm sure they have some pecking order out there that I'm not aware of, right?
You are a rules guru.
No, I read them. I don't remember. In this league, you got to study the rules. Believe me. It was a long off season for me.
Here's Tom Ritter.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 3rd down.
Well, what do I know?
Silence from the booth.
You know what it is? Here's the main thing on the replay. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets hit. He feels. I feel he's lost his momentum. He had his forward progress way up there. Cody Burns never gets turned around, but the opinion of the replay official was the ruling on the field counted.
Newton. Now he gets out to the 6. It'll be a
big call. Big call, because 3rd down, no matter how good Cam Newton is, he's not going to pick that one up. And now LSU will have great field position because number 7 is going to be back there.
Number 7, as in Patrick Peterson, who has returned 2 punts for touchdowns this season. Stephen Clark, who is a true freshman, is on to punt. Peterson runs up, grabs it at the 42, out of a tackle, block in the back, no flag. Oh, yeah, the flag is low. Field judge saw that. And so this is going to go, I'm sure, against LSU.
It was such an unnecessary block by Spencer Ware. Number 16 is the guy I think that got the block there. It was 10 yards behind the play. Just so unnecessary to do it, too.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 16, receiving team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, he did not get his head. That's unnecessary and really cost big field position.
Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete. The athlete is Zach Clayton from Auburn. Graduated in the spring with a major in business finance. He's pursuing a 2nd degree. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future shown today by donating $1,000 to Auburn University's General Scholarship Fund. Jarrett Lee is the quarterback for the day. 7 of 10. Sat out the last series of the 1st half with a sprained wrist. Was given the okay to go. And he's back in there. Rolling right, being chased. Pulls up, has to throw it away. Michael Goggins was chasing him. Late in the 2nd quarter, this was Nick Fairley who got to Jarrett Lee. So Jordan Jefferson came on.
Finished off that drive, but he started off well, but Jordan really showed his scrambling on that drive. It really paid off. And then shaking that tackle down there was also the difference between no points and 7 points.
Russell Shepard, top of the screen, wide right. 2nd and 10. Fumble. And Lee falls on it.
That's the second fumbled snap. One by Jordan Jefferson in the shotgun, and now a fumbled snap by Jarrett Lee under center. The first one killed the drive. This one might kill the drive because it's 3rd and long.
P.J. Lonigan is the center. Lee fell on it. 3 wide receivers to the right. Let's see if Ted Roof brings the house this time. He brings him. Well, it's a shack if not the house. Pass is deep. Incomplete. 4th down.
Well, you had to know, if you're Jarrett Lee on that play, you don't need the coach to tell you they're coming with the blitz. They've done it the 2 previous 3rd down plays, and you've got to get back there with your clock in your head and get rid of that football. Jarrett Lee waited too long on the play, and he had no throw. So Auburn defense has really stood up. Look at Auburn defense has done a great job, but the punting game has kept LSU in the game, as the graphic showed you.
This is the 3rd LSU 3 and out on 4 possessions in this half. Here's Helton. And it's another outstanding punt.
Beautiful play.
It's the ball, right? Down at the 1.
Ron Brooks caught the last one, and this time his athletic ability down there as the gunner, he made a wonderful play. He goes one way, the bounce goes away from him, and watch him turn around and get it. There's Ron Brooks. Now watch him turn, keep his balance, and then whack it away. Now remember, if the ball breaks the plane, even in the air, it's a touchback. Can't tell.
Not from that angle.
Didn't look like it did to me.
I didn't think so.
But again, this field position.
Well, this Auburn team won the special teams battle last week against Arkansas. But ladies and gentlemen, Cam Newton out to the 10, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, he was so patient again, waiting for the play. This was just like a power play to the outside. He reads the block, waits, and now near hash, 2nd down. Auburn likes to go very quickly in this situation.
Oh boy, not this time.
I don't think he wanted to give it.
Well, we've spent a little time with Cam Newton in the last couple of weeks. Look at the smile.
That's who it reminded me of. They're about the same size, too. I hate to say it.
You're right. Well, Magic's a little taller.
A little bit.
And a little wider, especially now.
But that personality is about the same.
3rd and 1. Here's Newton.
That was the Wildcat, too.
Yeah.
2 offensive tackles to the opposite side. They went unbalanced line, and Cam Newton, like Tim Tebow, is a 1st down machine on 2nd and 3rd and short. So here's the 2 tackles together, side by side. That's the Wildcat. Coming around Mike Berry, you just follow your offensive guard. That's the Wildcat.
And it's a 1st down 10 at the 14-yard line. 17-10 Auburn, final 1:40 3rd quarter.
LSU is not coming up near the line of scrimmage. They're keeping their safeties back, forcing the long drive.
Sweep, right side, Dyer churns his legs, gets close to the 1st down marker at the 24. Craig Lawson, number 6, made the tackle.
Well, Vern, the 2 great backs coming out recruited this year were Marcus Lattimore at South Carolina, and of course Michael Dyer right here. They both are great young football players. I like them both, but this Dyer's stature is great.
And they'll try him again for the 1st down, and they get the 1st down plus 3 or 4 yards. How about that? Well, that will get the crowd fired up.
Those legs, I mean, they're so thick. Look at those calves. Those are strong Ray Rice NFL legs. I got the name down. I got to use it. It took me a week.
You were searching last week. I remember that. It's first down. Well, if it's working, why not go back to it?
And, you know, almost the previous play, as you watch this Auburn team and Michael Dyer, a true freshman, they just push and push and push. And everybody, there's 10 guys. This is a scrum. This is Australian rules foot rugby right here, isn't it? I mean, even Newton's in there pushing on the play.
Right. That's going to do it for 3. They'll let the clock expire. The battle of the unbeatens at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And as we go to the 4th, the Auburn Tigers lead the LSU Tigers by 7. That's the student section. Cam Newton is out in front of the group. We'll return to Jordan-Hare right after this word from your local station. We welcome you back to Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn, Alabama. We begin the 4th with Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, Vern Lundquist. It's 2nd down 7 at the Auburn 36. Left side, Ontario Michaela about to the 41-yard line. As the Auburn Tigers, they've been pushed inside their 5 3 times now in the ball game, and they've managed to get out, but they've been losing field position, yet still lead 17.
Yeah, they have one, a 91-yard drive, and now they got another one right here. When you're starting to run maybe for the 4th straight game, they're approaching 300 yards rushing for the 4th straight game. This LSU defense, they've been giving up 86 yards a game. They're doing it against one of the best in football.
Newton.
Oh, my.
Stiff arm. Well, he lost yardage, but it's still worth a look. Kelvin Shepard got him.
This is one of the best minus 10-yard runs I've ever seen. First of all, great rush up front by that LSU defense. They just kept coming, and they never gave enough space for Cam Newton, even Cam Newton, to get started. That was a stop that this LSU defense needed. They've had 4 drives. They only have 1 first down, LSU, in the second half. They need it coming up.
Now Stephen Clark. Poor punt. Really poor. Taken by Peterson at the 32. Hauled down by DeMond Washington. $13:29 to go. This was Cam Newton losing yardage. Time called.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Auburn opened the scoring. It was Cam Newton from a couple of yards out. 1-yard run, actually. 7-0. And then Josh Jasper with a 48-yard field goal to cut the margin to 7-3. Wes Byram countered that. This field goal made him the all-time Auburn points leader. Just before the half, Jordan Jefferson shakes the tackle, goes in. The extra point was good. We were tied at 10. And then in the 3rd quarter, Cameron Newton, a 49-yard run. Touchdown after the extra point, 17-10. That is where we find ourselves. Early moments, 4th quarter.
Here's the story of the game. We talked so much about Auburn's offense, but it's been their defense in the second half. You look at it right there, and look at the great field position that LSU had, and here they have it again. Can Auburn stop them again?
It's Jefferson, handoff right side. Ridley down to the 40-yard line. Craig Stevens makes the tackle.
Well, Ridley had 28 carries against Florida, and I really believe he's one of those backs that he needs the ball more to get lathered up and run. Very stocky, very strong. We talked about that he's not a home run hitter, but 9-yard ball carriers on first down are worth their weight in gold. Could it be a play where they might want to go deep? LSU has not gotten any big plays in this football game.
Second down 1. Shepard alongside Jefferson. Play fake, Jefferson. First down.
Talking about big plays, I was reading this stat about the LSU offense. Even with their great wide receivers, they have thrown the ball for passes. They've attempted more than 10 yards. They're 33% for the year. They are not completing the long balls, and only one of those all year have been for a touchdown. No long ball threats.
Spencer Ware is in the backfield.
It's a lateral.
Oh, yeah, and there's Randall downfield. He's open, and he makes the catch. LSU touchdown.
Spencer Ware is a high school quarterback. They needed a big play, Vern. They found a big play.
Finally able to capitalize on that outstanding field position. Their offense had looked like a dance group. 1-2-3 kick on the first 4 possessions. But now Spencer Ware finds Ruben Randall. And Josh Jasper with a chance to tie this one up. Derek Helton will hold. Joey Crapel snaps it back. We are tied at 17.
Well, we kind of set it up. LSU needed a big play throw, and they haven't had any, so they come up with a different way to do it. Watch the first thing. Make sure it's a lateral. Quarterback lets go of it. Yes, that's a lateral. His foot's there. Spencer Ware, a high school quarterback and a fullback, lets it go slightly underthrown, but Ruben Randall does a good job and makes the play. Does he sell it?
That's Josh Bynes, the middle linebacker, covering the wide receiver. Spencer Ware, Les Miles, 17 all. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by LG, John Hancock, Chick-fil-A, and by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. More than 85,000 here at Jordan Hare, a battle of the unbeatens, and we are tied with 12:16 to go. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports, provided by MetLife. Jasper will kick off.
Remember we talked about it, Vern. Would it be the 2 weaker parts of these 2 teams? Which would give? Would it be LSU's offense versus the weak part of Auburn's defense, the secondary? It's been ebbing and flowing back and forth.
Well, you just had the sense that that negative field position for Auburn and the great field position for LSU was at some point going to pay dividends.
Well, that weak part of LSU is the deep passing game. The weak part of Auburn is giving up the deep pass.
Right. Well, we are early in the 4th quarter. Now this is up to date. The point differential for LSU, 26 points, Auburn 41. Look at the yardage and the turnover difference.
Well, and then just think about LSU. Their last 2 wins against Tennessee and Florida were on the last play of the game.
Right.
Okay. And Auburn's had, 3 games where they won right at the end of the football game. Both of these teams are used to playing close 4th quarter games, just like Gene Chizik told Tracy. It's an SEC game.
Here's Newton. Dyer, left side. Spin.
A great tackle.
Carnell Hatcher hung on. Number 37. And Dyer's limping a little bit as he gets up.
Yeah, that's that bruised knee. Coming around the outside, just follow the big fella. Byram Isom that time.
Michael Dyer with 13 carries, 95 yards now. Now they look over and the cards are flashed. Now the cards up. Newton keeps it a yard short of the first down. It'll be third down.
One of the hidden strengths of this football game, or advantages we might say for LSU, is they had a fall break from school. So their defensive staff, they did not have to follow the 20-hour rule. It's very difficult to get ready for this spread on a short week of 4 or 5 days of practice. They had extra hours because they weren't in class, and the defense should be ready for what they're seeing.
And that's LSU that had the break, and here is Cam Newton on 3rd and 1. Look at him delay and then find the opening, and he's got a first down. Is this system complicated, Gary, the system of communication?
I don't think so. I think once you, it's kind of like baseball signals. You know, there's a key there that you have to follow. I mean, if baseball players can get signals, anybody can get. Okay, so but you got numbers and colors. There's a code there that simplifies it. It's hard for the other team to figure it out.
Livingston is the injured player, Pep Livingston, number 95 for LSU.
And they've also, you know, they've already lost Sam Montgomery, their other defensive end.
That's
so
right.
They need to keep Livingston healthy. I know he's a defensive tackle, but he's one of those fast guys up front.
Now testing his left ankle. Time has been taken. 10:55 to go, fourth quarter. Our group moves over to Jacksonville next Saturday afternoon, 3:30 Eastern. Florida against Georgia. Florida with an open week to try and find their wounds, and Georgia with a game tonight against Kentucky. It'll all begin with the TIAA Crep College Football Today show Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. There's Livingston favoring that left ankle as he walked over to the bench. Josh Downs, number 77, takes his place. First down, 10. Newton still has it going right, gets a great block. Oh, he gets another one.
Amazing.
Oh, he got 2 really fine blocks. Eric Smith, number 32, with the first.
This is just a power sweep. When you look at this, everybody I've talked to said the hardest thing about Auburn is they're running conventional plays from an unconventional offense. You can see, you get a block from Eric Smith, you get a block up front. I think, was it Mike Berry, Vern?
It was Mike Berry and then Emery
Yes.
Blake at the end of it all, and here's Dyer going right and finding nothing.
Dyer on the carry.
Well, it took him all of 8 games, and number 2 has become the all-time leading running quarterback in a single season.
And LSU gives up, Vern, let's just highlight this again. The proud LSU defense gives up 86 yards rushing a game. Auburn is at 313 yards rushing, the 4th SEC game in a row.
I'm going to repeat that. 313 yards. Here's Newton. Add to the total. He's down to the 35-yard line. Ryan Baker makes the stop.
Yeah, just by his shoelace that time.
And Cameron Newton is over 175 yards again.
Yeah, and that's including the 1 sack when he lost 10 yards. Remember, they take sacks and put him in the rushing yards in college.
3rd and 2. Just look at that.
They run the ball 72% of the time, the most in the SEC.
And Caleb in motion. Here's Newton. Got it. Flag. Watch out for this.
There's the flag on the play.
Wipe it out. Gene Chizik, Gus Malzahn. Tom Ritter.
Holding, number 75 offense, 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
I think he was holding Drake Nevis on the play, too. Of course, Brandon Mosley is playing because A.J. Green, the original starting offensive tackle, was injured. It's on the top of your screen. They were in the Wildcat that time, and yes, he grabbed Nevis as Nevis tried to spin off the block.
Wipe out the first down, make it 3rd down and 12. And the ball is back at the 47-yard line.
John Chavis has been known. He likes to blitz 3rd and long. He says in passing situations, he loves to bring pressure. Let's see if he does it.
Up the middle they go. Mario Fannin, number 27, but that will be a 4th down coming up.
We talked about the communication. It goes on all the way to the snap. Gus Malzahn's calling the plays. Everybody out there can look at the numbers. And are they going to go for the 4th down? I will tell you this, Vern. Be careful. I've seen Cam Newton pooch punt.
All right. From the 40, it's 4th and 6. Newton looks over.
Oh, he's going to punt it.
I think so too, yes.
He's going to punt it.
Play clock at 5. Motion. No, he got back. No flag. Oh, he is going to throw it. Near side. Incomplete.
Wow.
Well, there's your basic roll of the dice.
Wow. They brought the 2 wings in that time. I thought for sure they were going to punt that ball. And again, that means great field position for LSU. See, they bring the 2 wings in right there and right there to the top. That's bad circling, isn't it? I thought for sure we were going to get the pooch punt, 1-on-1, and not an accurate throw that time. He had him to the outside.
Ooh, it was easier when I was coaching Springdale High School. Jordan Jefferson is the quarterback for LSU. We invite you to stay tuned for the Jeep postgame show on CBS Sports. From the 40 after the failed pass on 4th and 6.
I think LSU has been having trouble pass blocking with Jarrett Lee in the game. That's why they're going with Jordan Jefferson.
Handoff, big play defensively. Ridley stopped by who else? Nick Fairley.
He's 2 defensive tackles, but I'll tell you, Nick Fairley doesn't have to take a backseat to anyone in college football. This guy is a monster. He just throws away T-Bob Hebert on the play. Just tosses him into the backfield.
Well, he led the SEC coming into the game in tackles for loss. There's another. Here's Jefferson back, left side.
Great throw.
Caught, yes.
Good throw. Set up to 3rd and about 6, huh?
Catch is made by D'Angelo Peterson.
D'Angelo came to LSU as a wide receiver. They're running the option out there, and Jordan Jefferson sticks it in.
3rd and 6.
Guess
Got
who?
him again! Woo! Nick Fairley.
Nick Fairley guessed the snap count on this one and got off to a running start. P.J. Lonahan says he jumped early. He runs right through the double team that time and then throws him down. I'm telling you, college football has to get a handle on these defensive tackles throwing the quarterbacks down.
3 sacks for Fairley today. Here's Derek Hilton. And again, he gets a favorable bounce. My gracious.
Incredible.
What a day Derek Hilton has had. That's a 55-yard punt. Earlier, he had one of 56. And let's go back to Tim Brando for this update.
A wild one in the Big Ten, Vern. Watch this. Monty Ball of Wisconsin is going to take it in from 8 yards out. This is with just over a minute to play against Iowa. It's not called a touchdown originally, but it was reviewed, and you can see the knee is not down. The ball extends across the plane. Touchdown, extra point good, 31-30 with 1:01 remaining. Wisconsin leading. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. It's 17 all here. 6:10 to go. Newton. Carnell Hatcher, he gets by him. Patrick Peterson makes the tackle.
And Newton didn't go out of bounds there. Now, I think this is going to look to SEC fans a lot like the Kentucky drive when they did 19 plays, remember? And they kicked the field goal to win the game in Kentucky. But also a little bit like Mark Ingram when he did the Wildcat all the way down the field against South Carolina last year. it's going to be hard to take the ball out of the hands of Cam Newton here in the run game.
Newton has now gained 192 yards. He does hand it off to Dyer here. So the little change of pace, he gets out to the 30-yard line.
Right now, Auburn would love first downs and clock. First downs and clock, just like they did it against Kentucky. Gene Chizik says, let's just take clock and first downs.
Lutzenkirchen has to hurry to get off the field. He does. It's second down. Here's Newton. Handoff sweep, left side. Ontario McCaleb. He's got some room, and he's got some speed. Touchdown, Auburn, 70 yards. Wes Byram for the extra point. McCaleb had a 99-yard kickoff return last week. That's his 4th touchdown rushing this season. And by 20 yards, his longest run of the year. Well, they took 19 plays to kick a winning field goal against Kentucky. This one took them 3 plays.
And remember, this is a read play. The quarterback, Cam Newton, can either keep it or give it. That time he said, I think I'll give it. Looks like I got a touchdown.
(24-17) after that 70-yard run. Ontario McCaleb.
Yards rushing.
Well, 417, but I don't want to be too precise.
500 yards total offense on a team that's been giving up 200 yards in change all year.
My old buddy, your good friend Dan Fouts, graduated from Oregon. I got word from him last night that the Oregon Ducks, nobody was close, right? Dan's in Denver getting ready to do a game out there. Dan, that run was for you.
Still a lot of time.
Oh, my gosh.
And this is Les Miles in LSU.
Patrick Peterson at the 2. Nope. Second one got there. Revisit the touchdown, Gary.
Now remember, this is a read. Cam Newton is reading the guy right here, and the question is, can the guard come and hook? When he sees he can get the guard, Byron Isom on the hook, he hands it off. But look at the blocking downfield. Wide receiver right there, Emery Blake. Number 2, Cody Burns. Number 3, Terrell Zachary. All 3 wide receivers get their blocks.
First down at the 26. Jarrett Lee is in at quarterback. He comes near side. Randall at the 29. No, they're going to give him forward progress to the 31. DeMond Washington, number 14, with the stop.
Well, this is the drives when Jarrett Lee has really captured Les Miles and the LSU fans. When he gets the ball out of his hands quickly, he's been able to produce these late drives for LSU.
Look at the graphic. 15 fourth quarter or overtime comeback wins with that man as the head coach. It's 2nd and 5. Ridley. 3rd down.
Nick Fairley made the play, and he thought he was held on the play. Watch number 90, Nick Fairley. They can't block him. Here he is right here. Watch him on the play. Runs through it, gets a hand on it, and then gets up and said, I was held. What a football game he is having.
3rd and 6. 3:45 remaining. This battle of the undefeateds. Randall in motion. Lee under center. Across the middle. Caught.
He dropped it. He dropped it.
Well, they're going to say incomplete now. Yes.
Now remember, LSU has 3 timeouts. They can still punt it and get the ball back.
Now take a look at the end of the play.
Terrence Tolliver would have had to make a great catch, but that's about the 4th one that he had and dropped, and it was bang, bang. I think he kind of had it, but he didn't have it and come down and make a play with it.
Craig Stevens hit him. Les Miles wants a timeout.
Oh, now he's about committed himself now. With the timeout, he's now committed that he's going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, it's not like we haven't seen Les Miles beat the clock. How about the 5th, 4th down? One of the great games I've ever seen. LSU and Florida, they went for it 5 times, got every one of them. But that was just a start, Gary.
This one, I thought it was a great time. This wasn't at all a gamble. There was plenty of time on the clock. I think it was actually 3 seconds, not 1 second.
Time expired at Ole Miss last year, memorable. And Jordan Jefferson spiked the ball because he thought he had a timeout. And then this year, of course, they get an extra play because Tennessee had 13 men on the field. That was a mess. And then Terrence Tolliver, just a couple of weeks back, this game winner with 6 seconds remaining.
I'm a little surprised, I have to say. You've got a sound defense, 3 timeouts. Les decided he's going to draw the line in the sand right now and go for it on 4th down.
Tolliver, they need him on the other side, and the play clock could become, no, 20 seconds
They
left.
only had 10 men on the field. Russell Shepard just ran in.
And now Tolliver's going to leave. This is chaotic. Now he stays, he's in inbounds on the near side, far side. Lee, 4th down.
Not going to get it.
I got to tell you, that was a mess.
That was a mess. That was a mess after a timeout. We're going to have to add another picture to that story you just told. First of all, they only have 10 men. You can see at the top of the screen right here, they tell Russell Shepard to get on the field. Then they switch Tolliver to the other side. He thinks he's going off. No, stay on the field. Then they put a guy in motion, and it's nothing. They got nothing. He looks left, doesn't have anybody, good coverage downfield. There's no way that Jarrett Lee's going to pick up the 1st down with his legs.
So on 1st down, Newton, he'll keep it. Dives inside the 25 to the 22. He's closing in on a 200. Yeah, he's got a 200-yard rushing day. Cameron Newton, 24 for 201. Time has been called by LSU. That is their 2nd. Let's take a look at the kind of day he's had.
First of all, he starts it over by showing how strong he is by running over somebody. Then in one of the most brilliant plays you'll ever see, he accelerates into the end zone for a touchdown. This is one of the great -9-yard runs you'll see in college football. And then he waits and patiently picks his spot and picks up the 1st down.
So for the day, 200 yards, a career high.
And Michael Dyer, as you mentioned, he's gone over 100 also. And one more time, versus LSU.
On your right, that's his dad, Cecil, and his mom, Jackie. They live in College Park, Maryland. Cam's dad is a Pentecostal minister. 2nd down and 2. 1st down. There's the smile.
Well, the pace of the game was the way LSU wanted it. The yards, the rush yards, is nothing they ever dreamed could happen to them.
I'm looking up at the stats on the board. It's staggering. 428 rushing yards.
The Auburn people told us they have a plan in case somebody goes after Gus Malzahn. They better start going over their plan.
On first down.
Good tackle. Oh, he didn't have the ball.
Pretty good fake.
Hey, I thought Dyer had the ball that time.
It was a good tackle, actually, by Brandon Taylor.
Calvin Shepard thinks for sure that Dyer has the ball. Nope, he doesn't. Cam comes outside. And as you said, good tackle in the secondary that time because I thought Cam was going to get another 5 to 8 yards there.
Timeout taken by LSU. That's their last. Want to go quickly from Auburn out to Hawaii. How do you solve a murder when an old flame becomes a prime suspect? See Hawaii 5-0, TV's #1 news show, Monday. Well, Nick Fairley.
This guy, Cam Newton, is the star, but this guy stole the stage today because a team that gave up 566 yards a week ago came into this game and challenged their defensive line, and number 90 just put on a show.
6 tackles, 2.5 sacks. He shared one of them. Here's Newton. He's just trying to get that clock to wind down now. Well, both coaches chose to go for it on 4th and 5 or 6. Neither with effective results.
That's true. LSU can bring this clock, even without a first down, to about a minute in the game. And then, of course, you can kick a field goal if you're Auburn to put it away if they want to. And I don't see why they wouldn't. They've got a veteran field goal kicker that could just ice it. Here's the Wildcat. 2 tackles to the top of the screen. Both of them over here.
3rd and 6. Newton.
Game.
1st and goal.
Ball game. Well, first, athletic director Jay Jacobs signed Gene Chizik, and then Gene Chizik and his staff went and found Cam Newton. Pretty good formula.
Curtis Looper is the running backs coach and recruiting coordinator, and it was in October that they decided to go after Cam Newton. They actually visited Glenn College looking at somebody else, and Looper called Chizik and said, hey, we got to get this guy. And so they recruited him. He wound up turning down Mississippi State. Whoops. Josh Downs. That might even be construed as a cheap shot.
Now let's remember here, though, LSU, it's not over for them. They have a bye week coming up, and then Alabama coming to their place in 2 weeks.
Dead ball, offside, defense, half the distance to the goal, first down, my signal.
LSU, one of the bye before they play Alabama teams, coming up on November 6th. Alabama controls their own destiny, obviously.
Right.
So does Auburn.
Auburn plays at Alabama the Friday after Thanksgiving. A lot can happen between now and then. There's a knee. So Cam Newton's going to wind up with 217 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. He also threw for 86 yards. And now he's going to celebrate at the north end. Well, this sounds maybe contradictory when we're talking about Cam Newton. I believe he's going to get a lot of player of the game votes. But the key, you can argue pretty thoroughly, vividly, was Nick Fairley, who had the game of his life at defensive tackle. The Chick-fil-A player of the game.
Cam Newton, you get it every week. We got to share this. Hey, is it fun around here or what?
Oh my gosh. Final score 24-17 coming next. The Jeep postgame show for Tracy Wolfson. Gary Danielson, I'm Vern Lundquist. Auburn wins it. We'll see you next week from Jacksonville.